Evening and good night wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, welcoming all to another very special action-packed edition of Trends in the Housing Market. The date today is April 22nd, 2020. I want to thank everyone for joining me and being here tonight and being part of the family. Don't forget to call me in on Skype and let me know what's happening, whether it's employment, unemployment, housing, you've been on the sidelines to buy a house for the last 100 years, you are having troubles making a down payment, is housing going to crash because of COVID? What is happening? Well, that is a really good questions to ask. We're going to be looking at the entire Commonwealth and what's happening all over the English-speaking world here on Trends in the Housing Market. We're on episode 202. Woo! So, okay, we've been preaching. Everybody knows what this channel has been about for the last long while. Everybody knows. Oh, okay. Here we go. People, my comments just rolled in. I just got a whole flash of comments roll in. I don't know why. I don't know how. But all the comments just flew in at one time. All right, everybody's talking here. Let me just catch up here, guys. I'm really sorry about this. So, I love China. Canada's deficit is only 100 billion. We got Michael from Victoria, BC. We got Steven in the house saying big time tab. We got the GDP this year will drop 10% or 20%. So who will pay the debt? Okay, so we got Arthur. Hi, Mike. Can you talk about the Canadian deficit that will hit 180 billion? Sure. Why don't you come on the show and talk to us about it, Arthur? I think that would be amazing. All right, everything's starting to roll here. Yeah! All right, lots going on in the housing, job, unemployment markets. Let's go into a channel plug real quick here, if you guys don't mind. Guys, don't forget to join, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if you guys noticed this video I did on Sunday, where I was forecasting on Monday that oil will go into negative territory. It's right here under Business Talk. Where the heck? I gotta brag about this. I'm sorry. Oil down 15.5% in 2 hours. Crude oil will go negative. And that was on Sunday night when I was watching the markets in Sydney, Australia. No, oil's never tanked, Richard, the Observer. You know what happened? Watch this video, why oil stocks are bulletproof. Watch that one. I sold all my oil stocks on Thursday because I knew this was going to happen, and I put my money where my mouth is, and man, did I make a mistake. All my Canadian oil stocks, all of them went up. When oil went to negative 30 bucks a barrel, they went up. When they produced zero production in the last 2 days, $0 of production, they went up. Watch that video, and I actually show you the stock tickers, and I show you the stocks that went up. All of them went up. So Canadian oil stocks doing amazing. Explained. Watch this video. It's under Business Talk. First video. And I knew things weren't right, and I sold off my lot. I come back a day later. Oh, they're all up. Okay. Go back Tuesday. Well, they're doing better. Go back today. Woo! They're up 14. Some stocks are up 12%. Woo! So we got Aquarius in the house, real Kevin Thompson, damn slackers here, Jay Smith saying everyone's getting GST checks. Yeah, so oil is tanked, but the stocks haven't. So they keep pumping the taxpayers' money, keep these companies afloat. So there was no sell-off. I was the only guy to sell off his stock. Everyone sat tight, watch oil go to negative $25 a barrel, and their stocks keep going up. So go ahead and, if you'd like to, watch that video and you will see exactly why oil stocks are bulletproof. I hope they go down tomorrow and crash and smash because of that video I made. Because every time I do that, it always comes back and punches me in the face. So it's been up 3 days in a row since oil crashed. We got Owen in the house. David Xavier in the house. Mikey Mike Prime Time on the mic from Terry Tony. We got Alan Howick. What up, Mike? Norman Liu saying, hey, Mike. David F. double eight saying hello. Thanks for joining us, guys. All right, so don't forget to set your reminders for this Saturday's Mike in the Night essay. It's gonna be really good. This Saturday's Mike in the Night. I'm gonna click it here. I'm actually gonna put this here. You guys are gonna want to watch. Set your reminder to this. It's called the Riddle. To this Mike in the Night. It's gonna be real good. Okay. We got available light in the house. So there it is. I want to make a correction on the video I made yesterday. Building versus buying a home. I spoke to my friend again, and he watched the video. He said that there was a mistake, a discrepancy. He wasn't quoted $600,000 to build a home. He was actually quoted $800,000 when it's all said and done, when the house is built, a 2,000 square foot home. He was actually quoted $800,000. I think I said $600,000 in the video, and I was wrong. So he spoke to me and says, "No, Mike, you undervalued." Oh, I thought I overvalued it. I thought I made a mistake. He's like, no, Mike, you're right. You were actually lower. So the cost of building a home on land that you already own is going to cost you about $800,000. He's been calling around. He's called 4 companies. And I've been taking the dimensions of the house and the plan of the house he wants to build. And I've been calling, and I've been filling out quotas online for free with building companies in the States. I could build the same house he wants, okay, in Tampa Bay, Florida, okay, $160,000 to build the exact same house he wants. It's $800,000 in Canada. Woo! Yeah, 800 large. I'm gonna get him on the show. I'm gonna get him. You know what? I'm gonna get him on the show right now. So you guys know I'm not making this up. So you guys know I'm not making up stories. All right? Because this sounds way overfetched. Let me find him here. I'll get him on the show. Watch this. I'll get him right now. Watch this. Let me find him here. I'll get him on the show. Where are you? Okay. Let me just type in his name. There he is. Let me call him right now. I'm calling him right now. I'll get him on the show right now. Adam A says, when will T-Square be on the screen? On the stream? Yeah, I'll get him on right now. Guys, I want to introduce you to a new channel. Well, it's not a new channel. It's been out for a while. It's new to me. And I really want you guys to check him out. You know, let me open him up here. So let me go through my news here. Go ahead and support me on Patreon. $1 a month to buy me a coffee. And we got in the Mike in the Night mugs. They look really nice. They're actually really nice. Mike in the Night mugs came in. And we got Lord Humongous mugs. I'm going to be mailing those off to him. Lord Humongous. So I'm really excited. So go on Teespring, check that out. And if you want to send me show tips, go ahead and send them to me here on Facebook. There's my show tips on Facebook. And go ahead and send me show tips on my Instagram-y thingy here, whatever that is. I get a lot of Instagram show tips, okay, guys? So send me your show tips. There we go. We got T-Square Talk in the comments right now as we're speaking. And it's not letting me go to his channel directly. So I have to go in through it manually here real quick. Okay, so let's minimize that. Woo! Trends in the housing market. All right, guys, let's go over some key articles here, and we'll get our first guest on, who is waiting. A couple of people on the sidelines. We're going to get, let me see if I can get him here. Let me put his name in here. T. Oh, man. I got to do it like the old-fashioned way. There it is. I had a good in-depth conversation with him today. He's a really nice person. He's he's very transparent. You could see, like, he's a really good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard to find someone that really cares about other people. Like, he was really looking after me, looking at my channel, wondering what's going on, why I'm getting 500,000 views per quarter for every 3 months, and I'm getting no subscribers, or -6 subscribers. And he was looking at that for me, kind of wondering, no, that's impossible. It's like something weird has happened on my channel. So, okay, we got Steve the Plumber in the house. We got we got Get Sued, Mike. Someone's saying for me to get sued. Yeah, my stepson. So number one, Matt Mann says, my stepson just paid $300 for a small apartment along with a nice size house, which would have cost $180,000 5 years ago. Yeah, well, everything's getting to a point, even in the areas where housing was considered very affordable, pricing is going up, right? So we got Maria Guerrero in the house. We got Steve the Plumber, Nat Pacheco in the house. Woo! All right. So, Better Dwelling. Toronto real estate's average sale price turns negative for the first time in 2018. Well, what do you think was going to happen? Well, what? You think the average detached home was going to go to $3 million? That's what a lot of real estate agents were doing. And they were just going around throwing things out there. If you don't buy now, you're never going to own anything. I love that. Sorry, let's get our Donald Trump soundboard in here to help suit the mood here.
I love China.
Oh.
I love China.
All right. Let's read this one because this is kind of important. We got my man Gary Medeiros there in the house in the chat giving us an update. Give us an update here. Toronto real estate average sale price turns negative for the first time since 2018. So what's the benchmark price? So people watching this in the United States, listen. The average sale price reversed from a big gain seen last month across all segments in the board. The average sale price fell to $819,000. That's for a fixer-upper 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Like a house that was like 7 years old, $819,000. That's $670,000 American for an average wage earner's home. We're not talking about Michael Jordan's mansion here. We're not talking about Chuck Norris's house, which his house almost sold for that. Chuck Norris's real house in Atlanta almost sold for that much money. So detached homes across the board fell to 990,000, down 4.6% from last year. 990,000 for the average wage worker to get into. I just have 3 words to say. I love China.
I love China.
We got bought out of our own housing. There it is here. There it is, February 2020, and you see the elephant, I call it the elephant trunk, comes up. Look at the nice elephant head, elephant skull, elephant cerebro here, eyes, and there's the trunk going down for water. And it's underwater. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Raven's in the house. 2-time world champion. I had a really good in-depth conversation with the Raven earlier this morning. Yeah, Raven's a really good guy, too. Like everybody on this channel, I just love you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like a brother love moment and stuff. I just like the fact that people are there for me. And when I need to talk to someone, it's really good. You know what I'm saying? Steve Stevens is saying CIBC is selling 1 ounce of gold maples for $2,600, $150 less than most online dealers. Alan Hawick is saying, okay, thanks. Real Kevin Thompson says elephant. Oh, yeah. All right, I want to get our first guest on. I really want to get him on the show. I really want to pump his channel. You guys, there's enough people watching this show tonight on replay to get him over a lot of subscribers. This guy's good. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Let me go here. Let me find him here. I have him also on my backup channel. My backup channel is where I have all my real subscriptions because I'm trying to keep this channel clean. So here he is right here. T-Square Talk. I'm going to teach him how to break these down like I do on my channel. I'm going to teach him how to break them down in different categories. So he can have a gold category, his live streams on a different one, his gardening stuff on another one, and give him some tips and tricks. All right, let's give him a call. I'm going to bug this guy. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. It's going. You're looking good, buddy.
Thank you. I was just listening to your show. I had to set it off too. So it's
Okay.
like, oh,
Okay.
I have a few things going on. I was pulling up some statistics too as I was listening in. I was like, but so we're talking about housing market today.
Well, trends in the housing market. We've been discussing how basically countries like Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and Canada went on a rat race where they basically competed with each other to get more wealthy investors in. But the local people living here could go to hell, right? So, and we're in trouble because of that now. And you know, with us not wanting to look like we're racist, we're screwed now. They've laundered $200 billion through our real estate since 2010 to 2014. I brought up that statistic many times on the news in black and white, and the locals just can't keep up with the dirty money. But in America, it's a little bit different. They go cowboy. They catch you with laundered money. They put you in jail.
You know, it's a messed up situation. You know, I really thought a lot of this was going to change, but now I hate to say it. I think we just have a lot more bigger problems going on right now. I mean, I'm expecting to see a housing market crash, just like we saw in 2008. I've been in real estate for a little while. I've started selling off most of my stuff. I'm only down to 2 homes now. I was as high as 7 at one time.
Hold on, sir,
Yep.
sir. Yeah, I'm just being sarcastic. Now, everybody right now watching this in Sydney, Australia, I need you to get a Kleenex out because you're going to shed a tear. Tell them how much you paid for your last home.
My last home that I bought in the next town over. I paid $30,000.
Stop, full stop. Guys, get your Kleenex. $30,000. And I don't even need to see that home. I don't even want to see that home. You know how much money that home costs in Sydney without me even looking at your home?
It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Oh my God, that hurt me. That hurt. Okay. I did a report on a house in Sydney, Australia with no bathroom. It had an outhouse, and it was two bedroom, no bath. Okay?
You're going to scare me. I already know you're going to scare me.
Hand to God, okay? You know how much? $2.2 million.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
1.6 million American dollars.
That is just insane.
Go to my channel, go to the magnifying glass, and type in Australia ripoff, or type in ripoff. Not now, later. And you see all my ripoff videos of houses going for $2 to $3, $4 million that realistically are worth where you live $70,000.
Yep. You know, and what that comes down to is that's basically what we're seeing right now is stock, everything being pumped up. And I think when housing market gets pumped up the way it's getting pumped up, what it's doing is that's why interest rates are so low.
Right.
Because with low interest rates, people can afford to pay higher money for a house. But what people don't see is, one, if they're on any kind of a fixed rate, oh my word, give it a few years and you're done. You know, that's what happened in 2008. They got in on these they got in for a high dollar. They painted the picture, but interest rates are low. We'll set you up on a balloon payment.
Jumbo mortgages.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, you get killed when that day comes around. Now, compound that with people have been refinancing their homes right now for the low rates. People have been trying to sell their homes. Some people have been getting away with selling their homes. I know one person, he had 30 houses.
Mm-hmm.
He's dumped all but 3. And I asked him, I said, are you going to get back in the market if the prices get killed? He says no. But I'm convinced this guy, he's a little greedy. He's sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get back in when the slaughter comes.
Yeah.
And it's good for younger people, though, because when this happens, you know, I have a couple friends that are actually watching right now, and they're looking into buying a house. And, you know, they had asked me, and I said, you know, you're going to have a golden opportunity soon. Wait it out, put your money aside, and in a year from now, after the slaughter, pick up a house cheap.
That's in America, though. You see, in Canada and Australia, we have so much money that's propping this up that that the locals have to save 24 years to put a down payment down.
But here's what happens. Eventually, I believe all the economies together are going to experience the pop. You know, like I'm just looking, before you called a minute ago, I was just pulling up the Chinese charts about what's going on in China. China's already taking huge hits on their housing.
Right.
You know, and we know that they manipulate their numbers over there probably more than anybody.
52 times.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you think about it. If they're feeling it, they're feeling everything before we do.
Right.
Because essentially everything revolves around the petrodollar. And here we are, the petrodollar's in trouble right now. Because
yeah, we talked about that earlier today. I predicted the crash. I actually predicted on Sunday there's going to be negative. It's going to go into negative territory Monday morning. I pulled my money out, and then all my stocks went up still.
Yeah, and that's because the Fed is pumping money in. It's not. Think about it. Any business, I'll use like an average business. You're a restaurant. You're not serving people. Your stock or your money, your revenue should be going down. You're a hair salon. You're cutting hair. Now you're not cutting hair. Your revenue should be going down.
Right.
How do you justify stock prices going up? You know, now you hear these fake stories, in my opinion, where they tell you, well, they're looking at long-term growth when this blows over. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't. This money is once money's lost, that money's lost. You might go to the movies, say we weren't in this pandemic right now. You might go to the movies tonight. Well, next week you ain't going to go see 2 movies, or next month or next year, whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's lost revenue. Mm-hmm. So it's just insane that people can't see through this. And I hate to say it, I mean, I know your audience is really informed because you put out so many good quality videos. However, the average person that just goes to work every day,
average Joe
work,
Donuts.
They don't know what's going on. They just, maybe they get home, they cook dinner, they're tired, they're exhausted. They might watch a little mainstream CNN or whatever. And
wait, hold on a sec. Whoa. See, you talking about the Clinton news? They're still in business?
They're still in business, believe it or not. And it blows my mind because all you hear about now is fake news, fake news, fake news. I mean, even the president said it, but yet people still follow it. And it's beyond me how that comes out. You know, everybody, all these news networks, essentially, I feel like they all have agendas. Mm-hmm. And that's why, I mean, I hate to say, I get all my news from YouTube almost. I can pull up the statistics, the real statistics.
Yeah.
I can look on YouTube, see what real people think.
Right.
You know, like with this pandemic in China right now, I was following a bunch of small channels in China. These are just average people that just go out and shoot videos. And they're shooting videos of malls totally empty.
Right.
Grocery stores empty. But yet you're hearing on the news, oh, there's nothing to worry about. Someone did a video about how one of the Chinese phone companies basically lost 20 million contracts.
I did that video 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so see, I mean, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, and then yet you're putting out numbers of, oh, we've had 8,000 cases.
Can I add something? Let me add something to that. Those 23 million phone lines that just disappeared. A lot of people don't know this, but that's all federally government CCP paid phones, like the Obama phone.
Oh my word, I didn't even know that.
So for people to drop a line that's free, there's something wrong. For someone to drop a free line, a free phone, I can understand. I don't have money. I'm not working. I can't pay my phone bill. But when it's a communist-run media propaganda scandal where everyone gets an Obama phone, that's not normal, because people would be on it 24/7, especially if they're in quarantine.
Yeah, it's just nuts. And so when stuff like that happens, it's just, the numbers coming out are not accurate. All the statistics, I hate to say it, everything you hear just doesn't make sense anymore. And when stuff doesn't make sense, then clearly something's wrong, no matter what people tell you.
And what I've been preaching on this channel since day one is average wage, not minimum, average wage worker cannot get into average wage home. Average wage worker needs to work 25 years to put a down payment on an average wage home. That's $1.2 million. But in your states, that same home is like 40 grand.
Yeah.
And then like people are completely enslaving themselves. And the second the average wage or middle class can't get into any of the housing or even into any markets, guess what happens? They're going to have to depend on binging on foreign money. And that's what Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, California, Oregon, and Washington State have been doing. They've been binging and binging. They keep blaming in Seattle and King County. They keep blaming it on the techies. The techs are buying all this real estate. No, it's not. It's all numbered companies that own this, and they leave them empty. For every one homeless person in LA County, there's 4 empty condominiums owned by foreign investors. For every one homeless, there's 4 empty condominiums.
Well, look, have you ever seen the big cities in China where they've got whole cities?
Yeah, we covered that. We covered like 3 times. I had someone in from China that actually called into the show to give us a depiction of those cities. Now, what he explained to me is people don't buy those condos to live in them. They buy those condos so they can invest in them and have a piece of investment. That's what it's for. It's like a physical piece of investment. So it's like you buying a stock from a piece of a company, but they mail you a brick of the wall. Mm-hmm. So if you buy 1 million stocks in the company, they send you half the building to your house.
Now, I've also got to say this. Now, when we talked earlier about my last house, housing even here in the U.S. is being pumped up. I mean, it's not being pumped up as high as Australia and all these other places. Mm-hmm. But we're pumped up. I mean, you can go to a lot of people don't know the U.S. debt clock. At the bottom of that website, there's a housing section there.
There is.
And you can see what the average, and I think that number is actually a little inaccurate because their average is a little high.
Yeah. However,
when I went to sell that specific home, I asked the realtor, I said, how are you guys doing right now? Are you selling? She goes, well, I think stuff is kind of getting to the point where it's just in a bubble. Yeah. And I said, okay, so with you thinking that, she goes, but I can't say that. I said, what do you mean? She goes, I brought it up before. My boss told me don't talk about that. We want to instill people to keep wanting to buy. If they know they're in a bubble, well, what are you going to do? You're going to wait until it pops, and then you're going to get in.
You're lucky because you're not getting billions of dollars laundered through your country, because that would have been shut down right quick in a heartbeat, because the entire middle class would have been bought out of America, and then there would have been a huge housing shortage / they call it a housing shortage and we need to build more, but then we have tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of empty homes across Canada, millions across Australia. Beautiful 5-star places, beautiful. And I remember, let me tell you this little story. I used to live in downtown Vancouver. Now, in downtown Vancouver, it's predominantly Chinese, right? And I used to live across the street from Stadium, where they play hockey. And in my building, there's about 235 suites. Okay? Guess how many people lived in there? 9.
Oh, my gosh.
Because everything was empty. And the concierge took me into empty suites they had the keys for. And you can still see the plastic on the microwaves from the builder and the plastic on the counters from 10 years later after it's been built.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, completely empty. The whole building. So
now, do you believe this can keep up? Do you believe they can keep these prices up, or do you believe they have to? My opinion, you've got to see them come down. But they're going to want to come down in a way, I hate to say it, that the banks can sweep in and take the majority of custody of them homes. Yeah. So with what's going on right now, everybody is slowly getting pushed out of work. Then you can't make your payments. Say banks start foreclosing on these. We're seeing 2008 all over again. Mm-hmm. Now anybody can Google some of these articles. Forbes just did an article, Shanghai's real estate market hit hard by coronavirus outbreak. Right. With new home transactions plummeting 56%. Yep. So, when you look up these titles, just because you're seeing it overseas, we're going to see it here. Now, I don't know where the majority of your audience is, but this is a golden opportunity to make some money.
No, I get it. I get it, but
if you're ready.
But the problem is, here's the problem with living in Canada. I'll give you an example. I did a video yesterday about building versus owning, right? Building versus buying already built, right?
I saw that last night. That was this morning. Yep.
Right. My friend bought a piece of land, and I got correction from him earlier that I understated what he said. It wasn't 660 to build a house. It came out to 800,000.
Oh my God.
And he owns the land.
Think about how long are your mortgage contracts there? Are they typically 30 years, 50 years, or do they up them to 50 yet?
Oh no, they're doing some of them are doing interest only now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: when you take a payment interest only, that means you'll forever owe them. You're forever enslaved. You will never get out of the hole.
Yeah, but then you owe a balance of like $1.3 million.
Exactly.
And you're buying homes for 30 grand.
And see, this is where statistics come up. I was just looking at Bill Gates' reading list that he recommends people read. And one of the books on it was Making Statistics Work for Your Agenda.
Yes.
So right there, I mean, you paint that. If I paint a picture for you, okay, you can own your own home. It's true, you own your own home, and all you're going to pay is $700 a month. Oh, wow, $600 a month? That's even less than I can rent for. Okay, so you get in on that. You're not realizing you're only paying interest.
Yeah.
You're forever going to owe them. So you might be a homeowner on paper. It might say you're a homeowner, but you're never going to really own the home. Mm-hmm. You're forever enslaved. So really you get to keep people working and forever and paying you money the rest of infinity.
Right.
And then eventually it's still your home. You take it back. And so once you can't make the payment, you just take it back.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, that's the problem. That's the problem with us here. The average rent, the city of Vancouver says that average rent for affordable housing is, guess how much?
Well, I'm going to say, because I've seen rents here at $1,500, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you're probably $2,500.
$3,700.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's that's $900 a week.
Yeah.
How do you justify, how do people even make ends meet?
They don't. That's the thing. They're living off credit cards and they're using their homes as ATM machines.
Yeah, that's just nuts. I mean, and there's no way to really get ahead, move out of them big areas, and then you lose out on the jobs.
Yes.
You know, you got to go to a small area. What are you going to do? I mean, the average person can't go be a farmer raising chickens. I mean, that's something I do because I enjoy it.
Right.
But the average person ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? They need to work in the big city.
I'm one of those statistics. I sold my business that I had in downtown Vancouver. I sold what I had, and I moved out here. And I bought it 2.5 hours away from the major city, okay? And I bought a house, and I got it, and I got it for super cheap. I could pay $260 for my house. This house, the house I'm in Vancouver, is like $3 million with the land I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing: if you ever go to sell it, I'm guessing you're going to pay pretty good capital gains tax.
A little bit in Canada. It's not as hard in Canada because we pay property tax every month.
Okay.
But property tax is skyrocketing right now too.
See, and that's why a lot of people, for those people that know a little bit background about my channel, we talk a lot about gold and silver. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people say, well, when gold and silver skyrockets, you get out of that and you get into real estate. The only problem I see with that is taxes. Because if you buy 3 or 4 homes all of a sudden now, what's going to happen? They can put any tax amount they want. And really, it's tough to fight them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I went through fighting one of my properties not too long ago. 3 months later, they came back with a new tax year, and they upped it back to where it was again. So I got to start the whole fight over to argue my taxes.
How much is your property tax on average per year?
On average, actual payment, not evaluate, about $4,200. So you're talking $350 a month just on, even if you own your own home outright. Yeah. $350 a month. And that's kind of a lower number. I talked to some people that they're paying $7,000 a year. I'll bet you there's
in Canada, my mom was outside the city of Toronto. She was paying $9,000 a year.
How do you? I mean, does that even make sense to you? $9,000.
Mm-hmm. There's a story I covered on my channel. If you go back, it's called Tax Ripoff. There's a guy that's paying $222,000 a year in property tax for his restaurant in downtown Vancouver. You can look it up. $222,000 a year in property tax for a small little bistro restaurant. It's on my, you can look back and you'll be like, what is going on here?
And then when you think about where does all that money go? Think about it. It all goes to subsidizing plans. It all goes to propping up whatever their agenda is. They can prop it up and just keep propping. You know, and it's the same almost everywhere in that sense where they can up it. Like right now, a lot of businesses are closing down, so they're not getting that tax revenue. What do you think they're going to do to taxes? They're not going to cut you a break. They've already sent out a letter and said your taxes, even with everything's going on, will not affect this year's taxes. You may see a reduction in a year down the road. Well, it's affecting me now. You know what I mean? So they've got to make their money, and yet they're going to make their money no matter what, their taxes, and, you know, so it's really kind of crazy.
Okay, hold on, channel plug. Guys, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, we are talking to T-Square. His channel right here. I'm going to put a link right now in the comments here. I need you guys to subscribe to his channel right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Go over. Let me refresh this to make sure it's the right link there. I put that. I don't even know what I put. I hope that wasn't a porn link or something. Here you go. There's his channel right there. Go ahead and please subscribe to his channel. Please.
Now, if I can, if you don't mind, since we're
go, talk.
We are doing right now an amazing giveaway. So for anybody that's a coin collector, we're giving away all 5 West Point W quarters. It's rare that you're going to find one, because what they did, everybody's heard of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Where they took these golden tickets and put them in candy bars. Well, the U.S. wanted to kind of push coin collecting again. That way people will start buying coins and essentially holding the money at your house. You know, just change. So as this went on, they hired a coin collector to take over the West Point Mint. And the guy said the only way we're going to grow coin collecting is if we put something out that the only way you can get it is if you find it. You can't buy it from us. So they made 2 million of each of the state quarters last year, and they just threw them in rolls of coins around the U.S. Well, then they go in circulation, they get scratched up, they get ruined. Well, our channel started talking about it the day they came out. And literally, as soon as they came out, we were already finding them. So literally, we set aside an entire set of all 5 to give away for one of our giveaways.
Yes.
So someone is going to be really lucky, because the odds of you finding one of these is 1 in 2 million. Thank you for subscribing. I'm getting some subscribing messages right now popping up. You know, so that it's difficult to find. And all you got to do is just scroll down in the videos. And check out the 4,000 subscriber giveaway.
Yeah, for sure.
The show, of course, afterwards.
For sure. Yeah, no worries. For sure. The channel gets a lot of replay. So now, like, we're talking about channels now. Now, like, you know, you don't have, you're not defending me. You're not, like, coming here to say, like, Mike, you know, this, I've been following. No. Do you see any discrepancies? You were looking at the back end of my channel through some website.
I was. I track all my stuff with Social Blade. Social Blade is they're external to YouTube. They're not affiliated with YouTube. And they track every single YouTuber. It tracks how many subs you get, how much money you make. And I've questioned you on a couple things, and you agreed with some of the numbers that I told you. So I know their information is accurate. So it said, like, in one day, you dropped that day you had negative 77,000 views. So I noticed you've got over 4,000 videos. So those videos are all getting hit from different people at any given time.
Right.
So if we take, let's say in a month, you know, let's say you have 500,000 views, 400,000 views, whatever it is in a month. If they shave off 77,000 views or any large amount of views, and they shave it off instantly, and you guys can check this out, and you can earn Mike a badge on that. Essentially, when you go to Social Blade and you type in his channel name, the more people that look him up, the more recognition his channel gets. And basically you earn what's called the you've made it when badge.
Really?
When 50 people look you up, when 100 people look you up, when 1,000,000 people look you up, you've made it because people know your name.
Right.
And when I was looking at your numbers, I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the replay of the days. 0 subscribers, 0 subscribers, 0 subscribers. And then all of a sudden you see 100 and then 0 for the next 10 days. And you guys can all look this up too just by going to socialblade.com and typing in his channel name. And you'll see exactly, I mean, that doesn't even make sense how that is. I mean, so I'm a little confused, and I'm going to put some more work into that, looking into why that is.
I'd like to know, because I've put in over 1 million hours, right?
Exactly. You're putting in such a large amount of time into trying to spread the message, to try to make people more aware, wake people up. I mean, sometimes I feel like we literally live. Have you ever seen The Matrix?
Yes.
I sometimes feel like we live in The Matrix.
You know what I feel like? Because I'm a little bit older than you. Do you know what I feel like? Did you ever see the movie They Live?
No.
Oh, with Roddy Piper?
I'm gonna look it up. It's called They Live.
Yeah, Raven, what's that movie called? Is it They Live? Raven's in the comments there. It's with Roddy Piper. Look at Roddy Piper's IMDm, and you'll see. And that's how I feel we're living. It's called They Live or We Live. Roddy Piper.
I'm gonna look it up. I might even watch it tonight.
Oh, you'll like it. You'll watch it and you'll call.
Like, it's dead on.
Yeah. So.
But here's the thing: if you're drinking, and when you think about, because I've seen The Matrix, so I know that one. When you think about it, if you're in a good position, you're making good money, you've got it made. Do you really want to see things go the way they're supposed to? No, you don't want to make waves.
No.
You're already on the right ship. You're floating high above the water.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it doesn't make sense, you don't want it, and same within The Matrix. A lot of people don't want to be woken up. You know what I mean? They don't want to, they just rather stay in the dream state of things are just peachy and just keep looking straight ahead. When we know it doesn't make sense. And here's what happens. People stay in that zone, and then you have some huge crisis, like 2008 housing crisis. And then huge amounts of wealth just gets redistributed. And eventually, you may dodge one, but this happens every 10 years or so. It's something else. Whether it was the housing crisis in 2008, the dot-com bubble in 2001, the oil crash in 1980, all the way back to the Great Depression. It's always something happening that basically puts people, their savings, if they've been saving, they're crushed. And then constantly they can tax even your savings, so it doesn't even benefit you to save anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, why save cash when our target inflation is 2.5%? Well, people are like, oh, that's great. We're doing what we're supposed to, 2.5%. You're giving away 2.5% of your money every year.
Yep, because we're not hedging against the inflation. That's why you buy silver and gold.
Exactly. You actually lose money now for saving.
Yeah.
And then you look at gold. I mean, we talked about gold on our channel this summer. We found an ad in the paper from U.S. Money Reserve. They were trying to drum up new customers. And they were giving away an ounce of gold at spot. But they put the article in right before the big move up. Literally, and they had to honor it for 3 months. By the time the article was almost expired, silver was already up to $16.50 from $13.40.
Yeah.
So a lot of people jumped in on that. And now you're talking $17.10 right now. And the thing is, try to buy an ounce of gold at $17.10. Try to buy an ounce of silver for $15. You can't.
No.
It just shows it's rigged.
Nope. I have word from other parts of the world that bullion dealers are going out of stock, shutting down early, and they can't get their orders filled. Their back orders can't get filled. So what's been happening is there's some places that are charging 15, 20, up to 40% over spot.
I heard earlier one of your subscribers said something about 2,600 for an ounce of gold. I think that was in Australia. I
I think
can't
that's
remember
Canada.
what in Canada. I mean that's crazy. I mean something we do. We track the cheapest. I follow all the sites, and every night I almost point out. And I've had some nights where we found silver super cheap, and literally I mentioned it, and as soon as I got off, it was already sold out, and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, the cheapest I've been able to find silver for, the cheapest is $18.60, 18.50, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking $3.19 over spot is what that comes out to.
Yeah.
That's a 20% increase over what it should be. And everybody knows supply and demand. If true supply and demand were at work, if everybody wants something, the price should be going up, but yet we're seeing prices come down. Why? Because if we see gold and silver go up, then people realize inflation is happening faster than they want us to realize.
They've anticipated, and it's hard to jump on the bandwagon when there's no reserves, right?
Yep.
My favorite is when people are. So we got Matsky in the comments saying, "Is there going to be discussion on Canadian housing or no?" We're talking about everything in the markets that are happening that are affecting housing, and we did discuss housing, and we're going to go back on housing. But there's I want to ask him a very important question here. Okay, what's going to happen, like Deutsche Bank, when people bring in their gold certificates that they bought from Deutsche Bank at $1,200 an ounce, and people are getting turned away, and they're saying they're mailing them their gold? What's going to happen to those people with gold certificates?
Eventually, I don't think they're just not going to pay. They did a show one day.
Wait. Say that again.
I don't. They're not going to be able to have your gold. You ain't getting your gold.
But then why would they sell you the certificate and stamp it on that date that you bought it at that price?
Because the fact is, money will solve everything. And the reason I say that is they even said this before, where they said that, well, what happens if more than 4% of the people claim their gold? Well, it's never happened. Okay, but what happens if more than 4% of people claim it? Well, price will solve everything. And that is true. Price will solve everything. So, you take gold. If you bought in at gold at 1,300 and it goes up to 2,000, there's some people that will take the 2,000. I helped one person get 4 monster boxes of silver. That's 2,000 ounces. They got it at $15 an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
He told me if it hits 25, let me know he wants to sell it. So there's a magic number for everybody.
Right.
However, here's what's going to happen. You look at what happened in a country like Venezuela, where people might have, oh, hey, I doubled my money, I'm going to sell it. And they got out, and it kept going up. And then, oh, I've tripled my money. Okay, I'm going to sell now. Because we've seen time and time again it go up and then it come back down. Like 2008, it got up to 2,000.
But remember when silver got up to $50 or 40?
Yeah. I mean, it got up to $49.80 in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only $5 a year before.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So everybody has a magic number they'll sell. And when this system I believe eventually a reset is going to come. They're not going to be able to keep the money at the rate it's going. So if a reset comes, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to let prices go up on it little by little, because they're going to get rid of the weak hands. The people that will sell it at $25 an ounce, the people that will sell it at 40.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of people that will sell it in the high 40s because they'll say, okay, 1980, the Hunts brothers drove it up to 50 and then it got crushed.
Yes, I remember that. They lost their shirts.
Yeah. 2000, and look at how they lost their shirts. They lost their shirts because the rules got changed that they couldn't keep buying it. They weren't allowed to. So now in 2008, it went up to 50. So there are people that their mentality is it can only go up to 50 and then it will just come back down.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, mines will just keep. But here's what happens. They keep depleting out these mines. They're not finding huge Comstock loads anymore like we used to.
Nope.
Now it's a byproduct. They find what they find, when they're mining other stuff. And then you take a slowdown in the economy where we're not using copper, zinc, lead as much. They're not mining as much silver. Then you factor in a pandemic where mines, they can't be working that close or they risk getting sick. Now that's even more. And with how much JP Morgan is sitting on, everybody knows how they manipulate. They've been accused, they've been proven, they've been fined. And at the end of the day, the fine is just not big enough that it really doesn't matter because they can just pay the fine and go back to business as usual.
That's what happened with one of the gold spoofers there for, I think it was JP Morgan, ended up getting fined for spoofing gold, and the fine was $5.2 million, but he walked away with $18 million. So it wasn't that bad for him.
Yep. And there's even ways, you know, I mean, you look at any dealer site. I mean, you're getting minimum orders are going up, so you can't just buy your $99 orders. Now you got to buy $299.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the premiums go up. You're seeing wait times up to 15 days. Who wants to wait 15 days? I've seen some. I've seen one website, they said 6 weeks.
6 weeks, what, to walk to France?
Wait time. The wait time between you paying them, verifying it, 6 weeks later, you'll get your silver.
Dude, in 6 weeks, where you live, you could walk to Buffalo in 6 weeks.
Exactly. I mean, it's insane. So, I mean, who knows how they can even justify a lot of these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, here's the thing. If they let the price go up, weak hands keep getting out, and they know what's coming. So they can just start buying it.
Yeah.
Buy it, sell a ton of paper, to hold the price low, and then just keep doing that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whenever you get some time, when I do Mike in the Night, I want to do how to survive this apocalypse that we're going through right now, because a lot of people are having a really tough time investing or where to put their money. A lot of people got out at the right time in the markets, but now they're sitting on cash and not sure what to do. Maybe you could come on survival. We could get a couple of other people on the show too, discussing survival methods, tactics, and when it comes to investing, you know?
Yep. I mean, cash right now, cash is kind of, I mean, you need some cash, but it's horrible. It's going down nonstop. And you know that just because prices are going up. It's like if I give you Tommy money. You know, I mean, it's only worth it if you believe it. What do you think is going to, and you look at everything going on right now with China, us and China, all this back and forth. If this escalates,
I love China.
What do you think their number one weapon? I mean, I don't want to sound any arrogant here, but it would be hard for any country to take us in any kind of a fight. However, financially, that's our Achilles heel. If they dump all of our treasury notes, they hold more U.S. dollars than the U.S. itself.
Mexico.
All those dollars start flooding back to the U.S. You're going to see inflation like you wouldn't believe. You know, I mean, people don't realize that, you know, the U.S. gets away with sending paper money.
Well, you know what? You know, we have this saying on the show. You know what America's number one export is?
Paper?
Inflation.
Inflation. Yeah, and it's true. We are. Because the more we print and hand it off to other countries, we're getting real items for it. Really, I'm really shocked.
But Canada's scary. Can I tell you a little thing about Canada?
Yes.
If we find life on Mars, our prime minister will send money there. We're so screwed in Canada, you have no idea. I'm not a fan of the government system here in Canada, and you know what they say? Oh, the books will balance themselves. And we're on record spending. I don't know how many billions we are in record spending. There's an article out today for Canada that it's on one of the biggest spending binges it has ever been since, I think, World War I. And now it's catching up to us, and Canada is in a free fall right now. I don't know what's going to happen in Canada. You guys are going to close your border so people like us don't come there and try and survive, right? You know what I'm saying?
We're going to close. You know, I actually grew up in Maine, and I remember even when I was younger, everybody would come into Maine and spend money, a lot of vacation. They'd buy like jeans, they'd buy cigarettes, and they'd bring it back through.
Canadians.
You know, Canadians.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how this, and eventually it's going to catch up. I really had hoped that Trump was going to, and who even knows if they are, start printing money and just buying up gold and keeping it low key.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Outside of the Federal Reserve. You know what I mean? Let the Federal Reserve keep playing their games. A lot of people don't know the Federal Reserve is not federal.
No, it's an independent company, yes.
They're no different than Federal Express.
Yeah.
Federal Foods, Federal Firearms. They're not affiliated with the federal government. They're a private company that has the exclusive right to print our money.
That's right.
For us.
And lend it out to you guys at a rate.
And lend it out they're printing our money and lending it to us.
And charging it to
interest.
you guys, yeah.
I mean, how do you justify that?
You can't.
I mean,
if the founding fathers, Andrew Jackson fought his entire life, his entire presidency to kill the banks. Yep. And he did. And his old hickory, when Andrew Jackson was on his deathbed, you know what he said? I freed the Americans. I've killed the bank, and I'm proud of my achievements. And he died. And
it took one person to mess it up.
A couple. Woodrow Wilson screwed it up in World War I,
yeah.
and then what's his name? Oh my God, the guy from the Watergate scandal. My God.
I want to say Nixon if you Watergate.
Richard Milhouse Nixon. Richard Milhouse Nixon took you guys off the gold standard in 1972. In my opinion, let me tell you my opinion. The reason why you guys were taken off the gold standard in 1972, not because it was a bad idea, it's because they wanted to go to war. And you can't go to war full blown on a gold standard currency. It costs too much money.
It costs too much money.
Yeah.
So, and anybody that's watching right now that's never heard of Jekyll Island.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Look it up. Look it up. If you think some of this just sounds, because there are going to be some people out there that are might be watching and saying, I don't think so. Federal Reserve is the federal government. Because I tell people that all the time, and they don't understand that. All you got to do is look up Jekyll Island. I mean, this is something they passed on Christmas Day when nobody was around to fight it.
Of course they passed it on Christmas Day, because everybody was at home with their families. And when Buddy was on his deathbed, you know what he said?
He knew he messed up.
He said, I sold Americans right out. I sold the futures from our next generation and onward.
Yep. And I'm hoping, I really thought, and I still don't entirely know if Trump will change this after he gets reelected, because Trump has to get reelected first before he can really. Your second tour, you can get away almost with doing whatever you want. But you don't want to make waves your first tour because you want to get your second one reelected. So with that being said, a lot of people don't know Trump actually rented one of his buildings to a huge precious metals dealer in New York. He took custody of a solid gold bar as the down payment for his building. And you can look that up and see the article. I mean, it was a photo shoot, and they talked about it. And he believes in gold. He said, I thought because he believed in it, he was going to maybe make a difference. And I don't entirely know if he can. Because
No. The question you need to ask is, I don't know if he's allowed to.
Oh, and that's true, too. I mean, because, you look at Kennedy. Kennedy tried putting us back on that standard.
Yeah, well, the CIA took him out for that because he knew that the feds were everybody knows what happened with there's a lot of things circulating that, but that he was one of the youngest presidents the United States had, and not only that, he was Catholic, and he was basically kind of leaning more towards the ask what your country, don't ask what your country could do for you, ask what you could do for your country, riling up the folks, riling up the middle class, getting them, he started the suburbs being boomed up everywhere, getting people, retirees, cashing out of the cities and moving into suburbs, and creating extra highways and more roads. And the little term he had, he created a lot of good interstates. Well, he connected a lot of the interstates while he was in power, and a complete I don't know. I don't know. In my opinion, I think he was a really good president. I mean, I'm a Catholic, right? So for me to have a Catholic president, especially if he falls under our principles, love your neighbor, don't rip off that's good stuff,
Yep.
But anyways. So let's go back real quick to housing. Now people are joining us. We got 202 people watching live right now. I know there's a person here from New Zealand. I see 2 people from New Zealand, 3 people from New Zealand, a couple of people here from Australia watching. Now, can you tell us again how much you paid for your last house? How many bedrooms and bathrooms? Go ahead.
So this was during the last housing crisis. It was $30,000 for 4 bedrooms, 2 baths.
That is 50,000 Australian dollars, people. That's 41,000 Canadian.
It needed a little work.
No. There was a 2.2.
I had to paint it.
Okay, but there was a $2.2 million house in Australia with no bathroom.
Yeah.
And that was $2.2 million bucks.
I had someone in it within a month. Somebody was living in it.
And what was your mortgage payment? $300?
I ended up buying it outright. So I didn't have it because it was just like the millions of foreclosed homes all over. Because like I said, they sweep in and they get to take everybody's wealth by raising the prices, convince you that you can afford it, and then all of a sudden something happens, whether it's a housing crisis, whether it's a virus, whether it's I'm hoping it ain't a war, whatever it may be, to kill the value of the homes, and then people just say, just let it go.
Okay, we have the Prime Minister of Australia in the comment section, Scotty Morrison, and he's saying this is torture. We got our other guy from Auckland, New Zealand here. Where is his name? Where is he? Where'd he go? He was just here. Craig. Oh my God, I'm crying. Craig is crying once he heard the price you paid for your home.
It's it's coming again, Craig. All you got to do is just wait. We're real close. We're 6 months to a year away from seeing it again. And prices are already falling. If you look this up anywhere in the world, we're starting to see stuff happening. How long can an economy maintain itself when it's not generating income? It's
but
like
it depends. But no, it depends how many foreign rich investors they could get in.
But here's the thing. Even the foreign rich investors could get taken in this too by the elites. If the elites play their cards right, they not only sweep in and take the rich, they take the poor, they take everybody. Because I'm hearing rich people right now saying, like, you look at Warren Buffett, you look at I was trying to think of his name, who owns the Dallas Mavericks. These guys they know it's getting to a point where it's a buying opportunity. Oh, buy the stock market. It's going to bounce. Okay. And if the biggest money, you think about it, you have unlimited money. You can prop stuff up and bring it down anytime you want. This little increase over the last 2 weeks, I think, is a show. It's a show to get people to think we're rebounding. How can it be rebounding when stuff's not even opening back up totally yet?
Yeah.
When we don't have a cure, when oil is negatives, they're paying people to get rid of it. How can you justify stuff rebounding?
You can't. You just can't. So we got Big J Productions saying he's from Ireland. He's saying rents in Ireland are 2,000 euros per month. That is $2,311 American for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
That's for a 2-bedroom. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you see what I'm saying? They just keep running it up. And the thing is, people don't really have choices. They're stuck. Your only choice is pay it or don't. Mm-hmm. You've got to live somewhere. One of my dreams, anybody that's ever heard this from me thinks I'm crazy. Say you get one of the homes that you can drive, like the nice RVs. If you look on YouTube, there's a lot of people that are getting them now, and they just travel.
Right.
But here's the thing. People are like, oh, that's expensive. How can you afford that? You have no house payment.
No property tax.
You have no property tax. You have no major bills. Assuming you put some solar on the vehicle, you're going to need water. You'll have to go somewhere and fill it up. Oh, but then you have a gas bill. Well, I mean, you're not going to be driving nonstop every day. You're going to travel, maybe spend a little time up in Maine, maybe spend a little time out in Washington, Texas in the winters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad life to
Nope.
travel.
Nope.
And
Nope.
and here's the thing. With everybody else getting more and more squeezed, at some point you can't squeeze someone anymore and then they break.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that day is really coming, I believe. I'm cautious how much I talk about it sometimes because I don't want to scare people too much.
Oh, you don't want to pull an AMTV. I know.
And I hate to say that. I stayed home all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't even leave my house.
Woo!
People are like, "What, dude? You ain't even leaving your house? What do I do if I got to go to work?" I said, "I don't know. I don't got to, so I ain't leaving my house."
Can you do a woo for us? Can you do a woo?
Woo woo!
Woo!
But it's and it's kind of funny because he's like, let me see if I can get the camera on here right. Guys, you ain't gonna believe what's going on. I mean, they're about. This is it. This is the end of the world. You've got to make changes. I feel bad calling out another channel like that, but I mean, it is kind of true. But I watch his channel and I listen because every once in a while he does have some good points.
Mm-hmm.
However, the end of the world is not coming. I mean, the end of the world didn't come in 2001, 2008, 1980, even the Great Depression. It wasn't the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
However, people lost a lot of money. And if you positioned yourself right for those events, you made a lot of money.
Right.
And that's what I try to talk a lot about, just lightly positioning. Move your stuff around. Don't, invest in assets that are gonna go up because it's what the rich invest in. The billionaires, the elites. The elites buy gold.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask them, why do you buy gold? Well, it's more just tradition. It's not tradition. They know. Exactly. So, you have to be positioned in a position with them. Even though you ain't got the money they got. I don't have the money they got.
No.
But you only have to have a small portion of their crumbs. You just need their crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
And you do very well.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the people get all swept aside and start over every 10 years. I don't know. I've already talked to people that just in the last couple months they've eaten through their savings. They're having a hard time, and this is only fixing to get worse.
Yeah. So, do you see a lot of foreclosures happening in the States?
Not yet. We're not seeing that yet, but that's coming. It's going to take a little while because a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people have a safety net, but some people that are more grounded have a safety net.
Yeah.
They're still not fully realizing if this lasts, they're in trouble. And so we haven't seen heavy foreclosures, but what we are seeing is sales dropping off a cliff.
Right.
There's no way. I had someone offer to sell me her house the other day, probably about a month ago. She said, I know you've wanted to get something different, and I know you've done real estate before. Would you be interested in selling mine? This is a beautiful home. Nice in-ground swimming pool, a full stock bar, a hot tub, a garden area, garage, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This is everything. She said she would take something like $150,000.
150,000?
150,000.
Woo!
Think of that. A swimming pool. I priced up what it costs to put a swimming pool in my backyard. Granted, I'd have to get rid of my chickens, and I'm not willing to do that.
No, it's not worth it.
But that right there is like 35, 40 grand to have it done
So
new.
$150,000, and then that house in, let's say, in Vancouver, you're looking at about $7-8 million bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're talking millions.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And here's the thing. So if she don't sell it, she could get foreclosed on. She's at the point where she's paying her new home and she's paying this home that's
Mhm.
vacant, and taxes, and she's keeping on water. That way she can show it, and power so she can show it
Mhm.
when people go to try to buy it. Now, I mean, that's a beautiful house. That is one house that I've considered. However, even though the 150 is cheap, the taxes on it is where they're going to get you. And then here's the thing, even if I move into it, you can't start getting exemptions for like 2 years,
Mhm.
which means they get to hit you the obscene amount of taxes for 2 years.
If you
And
only
then-
knew what we paid for taxes in Canada, my friend, they get you. If you knew how much we deduct from our wages, how much our wages are taxed from what we make, you would actually have a hard time getting up off your chair because it's so bad.
Well, and see, that's what you just mentioned, a really good point. What do you think happens when people start getting really desperate and they start giving up? When it gets to a point where, why do I even want to go to work when I'm working just to pay taxes? I mean, I worked for the oil companies in the past, and I worked 90 to 100 hours a week. And then I started doing the math, and I said, after 70,
You're working
it's
for the
not even-
government.
I'm working for somebody else because I'm not seeing my check go up.
Right.
From 70 hours, let's say 70 hours, you take in $4,000, hypothetically, at 70 hours a week. Then you go up to 100 hours a week, and you're only making $4,400. Was that extra 30 hours worth those extra, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
no.
doesn't make sense.
Extra 60 cents an hour. No, it's not
Yeah.
worth it.
So then you start reducing, and some people think, well, I've got to work more to get ahead. It's the only way I'm going to get ahead, because they're tired and they're exhausted, and the more you work, the less you really do the math and calculate that stuff out.
Right.
When I explain that to coworkers, I point blank got told, don't talk about that, because they don't want you not working for them. They don't care. They've got a job to get done. They
Mhm.
want the job done.
Who are you
It's-
going to call?
You.
Ghostbusters. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna winding it down because I gotta get the guy from New Zealand on the show,
Excellent.
and we need to discuss the $30,000 and the $150,000 house. So you need to sit back, watch the rest of the show, and we're going to see what his reaction is to it, because you're going to hear it now from New Zealand and what they're paying for this stuff, and you're going to be like, oh my God, these people are absolute slaves.
Yep. And it's not going to get any better. If you're not putting some money aside in gold and silver, when this happens, you're done. So with that being said, I can't thank you enough for having me on. I thank your audience. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please check out my channel later on.
I'm going to put another link in the comments.
And I appreciate everything. And thank you for having me. And I'll be on again. I'll see you again.
Yeah, please.
So thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. God bless you. And you just call me like you normally, just like regular through the week if you want.
And everybody smash that thumbs up button.
Yeah.
We need to get them thumbs up so more people see the video and we kind of get the message out there. So
thank you,
thanks for
T
watching,
Square.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. So that is T Square Talk on the show. So here is his channel, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel, please. I'll put a link in the comments here for his channel. We kind of went all over the place, but everything tracks back into the homestead. It doesn't matter. It all comes to the homestead. Everything. You're investing in gold and silver. Your wages, where you work, are you laid off? Are you getting a raise? Are you working too many hours? It all goes back to home. So when we do trends in the housing market, we're talking economy. We're talking job losses. We're talking about potential investments. We're talking about surviving. We're talking about diversifying. We're talking about potential investments. We're talking about everything, because everything ends up at the doorstep. No matter what you see, how you take it, or what you look at it, it all ends up in the home. And that's why it's trends in the housing market. So guys, let me put a link for my man T Square Talk Woo! I gotta get somebody in here from. I gotta get somebody from New Zealand on the freaking phone. Let me get Buddy here from the. I gotta get him on the phone right now. I gotta get. I know Craig's watching right now. I gotta get this guy on the phone. I gotta.
Hey, Mike.
Craig, how are you?
Good, good. Enjoying the show. That last caller you had certainly covered a lot of a lot of areas.
Good. Make sure you subscribe to his channel.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
Good.
Love the link. Thanks.
So, Craig, let's discuss now, because you've been in this housing, this housing tug of war in New Zealand for a long time. So now, 30 grand for a house. Can you buy a parking spot in New Zealand for 30 grand?
No, that's not even a deposit. You can't even buy a moor to put a boat on for that. Oh, you might be able to get somewhere up north, about 3 hours away. But
3 hours, like we're talking, like in the middle of, in the real middle of nowhere in New Zealand.
oh yeah, like I'm not talking about land. I'm talking about a pole in the harbour where you can dock your boat. You know, if
Oh,
you've got
where
a
you
yacht.
could dock your boat.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, so you're not going to get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Are you kidding? Is that a joke?
No, well, yeah, no, it's absolutely phenomenal. And that's why, I don't know if you remember, on so many shows, I would look up housing in the States and see what you could buy in Miami for 90 grand. And people are like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's not even a deposit anymore. The deposit is around 10%, which is around 80 to 100,000.
That's a down payment.
Yeah, that's your down payment for your 30-year mortgage, and I think they did come out with
Interest only.
oh yeah, and they also came out with 50-year mortgages about 3 or 4 years ago.
That's so nice.
Oh yeah, you just they've
Uh,
got you.
okay. Now, let's discuss the $150,000 house, the 4-bedroom, 2-bath with an in-ground pool.
Oh yeah, no, that would probably be in the 70s or early 80s, but not now. That would be around $2 or $3 million here,
Hmm.
or even a bit further out. I was talking to a roommate, and I think he was saying he had a partner, and she had a $3 million house on quite a big house. It looks nice, but on about 4 acres of land,
Mm-hmm.
and not complete, worth about 2.5 million.
And the house is not even complete.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, not complete.
So what do you go? I guess you take a hammer and nails and go finish it or something, or?
I don't know. I don't know. It's really becoming, rich and poor. We have two classes of people, to be honest. But
So is there is there still an active middle class in New Zealand, or has it become the working poor too?
oh yeah, working poor. To be honest, there's not really a middle class anymore. Not for a long time.
Interesting.
And you see what happens is, I'm glad you raised this point, because I've had a lot of thought about this, and I've thought this through. A lot of people, when they bought a house, let's say they bought a house in the 60s or 70s,
Right.
and they bought it for, I don't know, 20,000 or 10,000, and they think, oh, this is great, I can sell this for 2 million. But when they want to sell their house and go to a rest home or care home, they putting all their money in the rest home, so they lose as well. You see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's not, and no one wins. No one's like, oh, I've made lots of money and you guys lose. No, everyone loses.
Yes, they do. Everybody loses.
Everybody loses, and then they're in the rest home saying, oh well, where are my kids? Oh, they're in Australia, and we've got foreign nurses, because the local nurses, well, the good ones, get trained and leave. Normally go to Australia because they get better wages.
So do you see? I know that you guys try to get some huge reform in from your last election, and the number one discussion in your last New Zealand election was housing affordability. And they were going to do that whole Kiwi build with Phil Tyford, and they ended up only building, they scheduled to build 100,000 homes, and they only built 6 homes.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things around that, Mike. The first one is there's a hell of a lot of regulation and red tape and health and safety and council fees. Like you put a concrete slab down, you put the framing up, the council have to come around and have to sign that off, and then you put the plumber comes in and he does his bit, and the electrician, and then you put the roof on, and the council have to come back and they have to sign that off, and every
Well,
step.
that's worse than dealing with the mafia.
Oh yeah, and the fees you have to pay for that, like 30 or 50 grand a go or a time, to get a permit, just get a permit.
Wow.
And then health and safety, and I think I spoke to you before about the ring fencing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You did.
to the edge of the city, and that's residential, and then you can't build down there because that's farmland, and that kind of ties into the NIMBYism or NIMBY. Not in my backyard, we have quite a bit of that here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the political will with the interesting thing to me is because your last caller was talking about would it change and would the prices drop? Well, that would depend on the political will.
Right.
And what happens with the Chinese. So what I mean by political will is because the baby boomers really held the politicians at ransom for years and years.
Right.
They couldn't. Well, they didn't have that political will to shift those boundaries and push the because what happens is if they move it out and say, oh well, we'll go from here to Huntley or here to Hamilton, that's about 150k
Mm-hmm.
or 100k away. Obviously, that's going to drop the house prices, but there's not a politician who's going to do that because they're going to get booted out. You see?
Yeah, there's too much political surrounding this. It's a huge political crisis surrounding this. Anyways, Craig, listen, I want to have you on Mike in the Night. I need you to give me some underground information that might get you put in jail.
Oh, great.
I'm joking. Yeah, I just wanted your feedback on those houses there in the States. So that was pretty shocking. Craig, try and come on Mike in the Night and give us an update on what's going on with, if there's any COVID in your area. Let us know what's going on by this Saturday, your Sunday.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Good
All
show.
right. You take care, Craig. You stay out of trouble, eh?
Yep, definitely.
Okay, buddy. Bye.
Bye, Mike.
Okay, so we got Craig Cook in the house from New Zealand, giving us a perspective on what's happening there outside of Auckland, New Zealand. And the problem is, it's just absolutely phenomenally overpriced. Average wage workers cannot buy average wage home. Average wage home sells for $1.2 million. $1.2 million, no one could afford to buy it. Everyone goes to negative interest rates. They get in, they buy it, and then what? They become slaves for life, I say. They become slaves for life.
I love China. I love China.
Yeah. All right. Let's read a few headlines here and what's happening in the housing market all over the world. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to T-Square Talk. He was on the show earlier giving his spiel, and man, was it a spiel and a half. There it is right there, T-Square. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Follow him. Be a part of the family. Guys, don't forget to support me on Patreon. Don't forget to pick up your Lord Humongous mug right here, Lord Humongous. Silver and gold is real money right here, Lord Humongous. We got them in on our teething. And a Mike in the Night mug. Look at that. I look so cute there with hair. Craig Cook, thanks for the call. Hey, buddy, anytime. We always want to get a perspective. And I don't know, a lot of people messaging me there. Here we go, guys. This is my Instagram. If you guys want to send me a direct message, you go ahead here and message me on Instagram. If you have any show tips for any show, trends in the housing market, or if you have anything for Mike in the Night. Toronto real estate average sales price turns negative first time in 2018. Look at that. Let's see if we can get Steve-O. Steve-O, I hope he's not in jail. Let's see if he's around. I know it's like midnight where he is. Let's just wake him up, man. Just wake him up. Yeah, wake the guy up. Come on, pick up, Steve. Oh, he's not picking up. That's okay. That's okay. Wanted to get Stevie on the house, in the house. Who else is in the comments? Let me see who we got here. Last week we had a real estate agent from LA County on the show. Really good show last week. If you guys want to jump on that show from last week, it was actually not that bad. Hopefully we're going to get a good lineup. It looks like we're getting a good lineup for Mike in the Night this Saturday, guys. So if you want to come on for Mike in the Night, we are getting a good lineup. I want to get Steve to comment on this article here because I know he read it today because he was talking about it. Greater Toronto area real estate is down. Real estate sales are down 69%. 69 points down in sales. Oh, look at this. And look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Greater Toronto new listings drop, but not as fast as sales. So sales are still kind of in line, not in line, but kind of staggering above water. I don't know if you guys remember that TV show Good Times, keeping your head above water. Greater Vancouver insolvency make double-digit climb. Oh my God. So if you're in your one-bedroom condo you paid for $750,000 and you're paying your $1,300 or $900 a month strata fee because no insurance company wants to insure your building because it's overly priced. Woo! Greater Vancouver seeing insolvencies climb. Not unlike the rest of Canada, Office of the Superintendent Bankruptcy OBS filings show insolvencies increase in February, while the increase was in double digits. The city managed to slower increase than the provinces as a whole. Greater Vancouver insolvencies rise over 10%. And a lot of people are like, Mike, why are you happy that people are going? No, people shouldn't pay $700,000 for a condo. And you go look at that place, like, this is just an apartment tenement. This is not a condo. Yeah. Consumer liabilities in filings rise over 4%. Businesses are seeking protection from creditors earlier, and Greater Vancouver insolvency growth. There it is. A lot of people in high school, I don't care about college, high school, grade 10 or grade 9 mandatory course, financial education. Right? People need to learn about going bankrupt, insolvencies, taking on too much debt. Don't take student loans. How do I get an education? You'll make it further ahead if you use your head. But no, a lot of people like being serious here. Let's get serious. People are going into these. So people need credit counseling in grade 10. Well, I don't have any credit cards. You don't need credit cards. You're going to screw up. So rising insolvencies is a broad trend across Canada, and it has been for the past year. There it is. People are buying food on their credit cards in Canada. Greater Toronto insolvency rise over 18 points. And Tyranet expects a loss of real estate momentum in Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal. There you go, guys. Let's move on. Only 4% of Greater Dublin's new homes affordable to average wage earners. Now, this is from, obviously, Dublin, Ireland. And I wanted to bring this article up. This was sent to me by Mark Fitzpatrick. He told me that, Mike, you keep talking about average wage earners and how important it is. You are bang on, Mike. If they were watching me at work there in Dublin, because they're doing something there, but they're working from home, they're working remote, and everyone was sharing that video where I was going nuts and saying average wage earners need average wage homes, the average wage economy to keep spending happening in keeping the middle core of the economy going outside of housing, right? Well, only 4% of Greater Dublin's new homes affordable to average wage earners. 4%! could get into an average wage home. %4 could get in an average wage home. Households on the average national income could have bought only 4% of new homes built in the Greater Dublin area last year, study found. There are just around 4,000 new homes sold on the private market in the Greater Dublin in 2019, according to analysis in Initiative Ireland, a property finance company. The Greater Dublin area included the capital as well as surrounding countries. So here it is there. There's the report right there. And homes sold for 380,000 euros. That's like 400,000 American. In Ireland, where the average wage is like 1,000 euros, 1,500 euros per month. Oh, good. We got Ashima there. Where's she? I hope she's watching from the beginning of the show because I'm going to quiz her on there, our first guest here. Where is she? There she is. Ashima, turn on your Skype. I need to talk to you.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Ashima, how you doing?
Yes.
You doing good?
I'm
Doing great.
doing very good. I just got out of jail.
Oh, you just got out of jail?
I mean, I'm still in the jail. I'm still in home. Can't go out, right?
Oh, you're home. You can't. Okay, yes. I wanted to. Were you here for the first guest?
Yes, since the beginning. Oh, he was so good. I was commenting.
Yes, that guy's great.
I'm so happy,
Now,
Mike. You are such a breather. Your room is such a breather.
Mhm.
Everyone is on the same page. Raven, Lord, Steve the plumber, Ivan, I listen to him. It's so nice to connect with my kinds. At least my mental level, at least my brain gets some feed from being around the similar people. It's so nice to be connected. It really is so nice to be connected, Mike. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I want to tell you, a lot of people are selling their houses, as you rightly said. So people who are selling at 620 are now getting 550 for it. And believe me or not, Mike, they were like, 2 years ago, they were like, why haven't you bought a house? You have the full down payment. You don't even need a mortgage. I said, look, it's not about me needing a mortgage or not. If the system, I can't be a part to the system. I'm not going to let Trudeau playing his guitar and dance on his music.
Well, tell us a little bit about Trudeau's guitar. Have you played it?
Of course, you play it. You show how he plays it.
Yeah, he plays it when you're taxing your income.
And then he'll say, "Oh, the budget is going to balance itself." And then I just like Pierre Polivet because I see him questioning what is his name? The finance minister. I've forgotten his name. Bill Monio.
But you need to remember, if you're a former drama teacher, you'll know everything about finance.
I was a former drama teacher.
So, I wanted to ask you something. How did you feel when that last gentleman was on the show and he said he bought his last house for 30 grand?
So, I have a lot of friends in the US. They all tell me the same thing. They tell me, crazy, Canada's mad. No wonder it is. That's what they say. But Mike, we can't blame our country, Canada. It's the people we need to change. If we can't have these people perform, they leave.
The problem is when you get foreign investing in, right? You get a guy come in, right? He launders $20 million through one of our casinos, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Then he goes and says, I'm just going to buy real estate with this. I don't care. So he buys at asking price. Prices keep going up. They bid on them. And then he sells the house a few months later, shadow flips it, and cleans a whole bunch of money in Canadian housing.
And then we appoint these realtors like Bill right in the parliament. It's what do we do? What is the common man? We are paying for this. We are paying for our own money which we're borrowing. And you just tell me, Mike, just borrow first 5 years. How much of what goes down towards your principal? I don't just go look at these formulas first of all. These calculators, they're pathetic. They're meant to rip people like you and me off.
I got some good news. We got completely cut off. Not me and you. The actual stream got completely connected, and we're down to 100.
Has really gone down. Mike, it's also hitting Saudi and Russia because they are not getting any dollar in. Their dollar intake has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
They used to sell crude and get dollar, right?
Yeah.
Where is
So the
dollar?
United States will export the inflation, and they get real products from it.
Yeah.
Canada's the best. They just give away money.
Our media is absolutely sold out.
Oh,
We
we
have
sold
no
out our
say.
media back before the
Media is
election.
supposed to be one of the pillar of democracy. Where
Mhm.
it is not anymore.
No.
And everybody, but if there's one good thing happening, Mike, if you just go check the net worth of the Rothschilds and the Wells Fargos, I don't know how come that's decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening. If you see the net worths, I was checking the net worths, or I was watching something. The net worths, the Rothschilds, the Wells Fargos, and the Rockefellers is going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where they're losing the money.
Well, they're losing. Everybody's losing money. So when we all lose money, they all do. We all lose money. But the problem is, a lot of the elites and wealthy, they don't lose a lot of money. Well, they do lose money, but they could afford to lose the money because they have too much.
No, Mike, it's just not even afford to. They get financed by who? Who do you think the Fed first funds? The primary lenders, the primary dealers, and these guys
Right.
are the primary dealers. They are
Mhm.
every primary dealer is owned by them. Where do you think that money reaches people like you and me? Until unless it's a direct deposit, like now,
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing, it doesn't reach us. Why is there a shortage of money in the market today?
Mm-hmm.
I am telling you, Mike, they are really going, people are just going crazy to even have your savings go to their account because they're going to put it as a collateral
Mm-hmm.
and then play with that money. They just want, they're not, it's just going to be your transfers in kind. Let us say if you're holding some holdings
Mm-hmm.
and people are, I mean, the bankers are going mad just to have your stuff there.
Yeah, so they could do fractional reserve lending and then 10 times the amount in the stock market casino.
Correct. Today now, nobody wants to give you a mortgage. Nobody wants to give anyone a mortgage unless they're paying a 50% down. That's the latest reality in the market. If they're not, if I'm not paying 50% down, I am not getting any mortgage. Period.
Well, you know what? It looks like things are shaping up on your end because property is going down. You told us that, a specific property went down a couple of thousand, right?
Yeah.
But I think you need
And
a
this is
40 to 50.
Toronto. I'm talking of Lakeshore, Toronto, one bedroom condo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A one bedroom condo
So
went from how much to how much?
I think 629 to 550.
Wow. You could buy
Yeah.
5 condos in Miami for that much.
I don't even pay 50 grand for that condo. Forget
Yeah.
about 5.
Maybe
They're a lot.
$70,000,
Those are rat holes.
$50,000.
Yeah. Those are rat holes.
So, yeah.
We're not meant to live in those houses. My things.
Mm-hmm.
We need some space to move, some space to garden. All we ask is what? What are we asking? Are we asking for a house with a pool? No. We're just asking for some space to grow.
Yeah, I'm not getting any bandwidth, guys. Oh, it's no good. Oh, this sucks. Oh, this sucks, the big one. Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, the bandwidth needs to be allocated again to more important channels that are discussing gravy and how to pour it down your pants. Yeah, I could see you guys in the chat if you could hear me. I could see you guys still in the chat. But the allocation of gravy is important, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure what's going on here. We had this problem about 3 months ago when I was doing a mic in the night, and it was a really bad problem we had. Yeah, refresh your page, guys, if you could hear me. Refresh your page. Let me go on my own channel and see if I come up, if it's freezing up. I don't know, man. This sucks huge donkey. Live now, my butt. Bandwidth, guys. Oh, it's no good. Yeah, it's freezing up big time. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, it's freezing up big time. But that's what happens, guys. The bandwidth needs to be allocated to gravy. Like, people pouring gravy down their pants, I think, is the most important thing that will happen to society nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You cannot hold back on people pouring gravy down their pants, okay? So, cut off again. Mike making waves. You're back, you're back, but it's on and off. Shannon Wood has stopped saying, stop lagging. I can't do nothing. Unless I go upstairs and get some gravy and pour it down my pants. Like, the only thing that will save this, if I go upstairs, get some gravy, pour it down my pants, then the allocation will go back up, and then that's what YouTube wants to see. Craig Cook saying, you're getting too close, Mike. Steven saying we're getting a good connection. Okay, here we go. We're picking up here. We're picking up again. Pseudo scientists. We're picking up. We're picking up. We're picking up. Here we go. We're back in yellow. We're green. Houston, it looks like we're reconnected here. Oh, yeah. We're back, guys. We are back. All right. Fangulo. Anyways, all right. So we got a really good guest on the show. Oh, thank you, Pathfinder. Your channel is worth fighting the lag. Thanks, buddy. Okay, it looks like we're back. It looked like, all right. Okay, I closed all the articles. I closed everything. Let's see if we could get somebody on the show here. I'm not getting gravy, so you could take that off the list. It's like midnight. We're gonna call him. Yeah, no dice. No dice. We had people in the comments earlier, but they're no longer... I guess a lot of people left the show because there's no connection. Right? Everybody's like abandoning the show. Oh, well, what are you going to do? So we got Ashima on the show tonight. We got T-Square on the show tonight. We got... I hope to see him a lot more times. Let me see what else we can get on the show here. Oh, wow. I got over almost 2,000 people on Skype. Almost 2,000. I probably more. Who knows? Let me see here. All right, we need to get all right, who wants to come on the show, guys? Let me know. Damn, everyone's left. A lot of people are like, oh, let's get Eamon on here. Let's get my man on here. That got the thing for the house to build the house. Oh, he's not online. Too bad. He's not online. I wanted to get the guy on the show that he was quoted 800 grand to build a house on the land he already owns. That's how you make money, by ripping people off. All right. All right, he's not picking up either. He's not picking up. She's gone. He's dead. He's in jail. When all else fails, call Supreme Cannon. And that failed miserably. All right, guys, it looks like I'm not going to get anyone else on I can't get anyone on the show. Can't get no one on the show. But we do have a really good lineup. Yeah, Brianna's saying, Mike, you should pour gravy down your pants before you call someone so you get the bandwidth. That's right. You see, when they allocate the bandwidth to important channels. Those channels are pouring gravy down their pants. They're eating lipstick. They're putting ice cream on their head and see how long it takes to melt. That's important stuff. I got nobody tonight. We already had some good guests already, right? So, but anybody want to talk about what's happening economically in their neck of the woods? Everybody left after that whole huge freeze up. Everybody left. Yeah. And I closed all my damn articles too. We need... He's not answering. He's not there. He's not there. Oh, we got Lord Humongous. He probably left too.
¿Cómo está?
Holy crap, somebody picked up the damn phone.
What's happening, my brother?
Nada. Hey, do you like your mug?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. You show it on screen to everybody.
I am, look.
Ah. Hold on, I gotta turn on my speaker.
Yeah, the chicks love it, dude. That's a really good one. And the pink one, the anime one, looks really good too. I got one for myself.
Nice. Did any of the girls buy the pink one?
Got one right here, look.
Oh, I can't see Mike. I can't watch the show and be on Skype at the same time.
Oh, you suck.
I know.
All right, so I'm going to be mailing those out to you before Friday with Express Federal.
Well, not the Federal Reserve, right?
And I will give you a tracking number.
Very good, my friend. So what's going on tonight? What's the topic of it?
Did you watch T-Square this morning? This early in the show?
I did. He's a very good caller. I just think he's off on his foreclosure numbers and the whole mortgage aspect of everything.
Well, tell us what's happened. Well, tell us what you think. Go ahead. That's what you're here.
Well, I mean, foreclosures have been piling up since last year. They've gotten more increasingly bigger every month on the numbers. If you look at a lot of statistics off of what the National Association of Realtors is putting out. Yeah, they're just the foreclosures have already been happening. They're just not they're not telling us the real numbers of what's going on. Vegas, Florida, and what was the other one? I think Arizona are the three major ones that are taking the brunt right now. As far
I
as
know Nevada is getting a good kick in the pants.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you look at Las Vegas, their whole industry is construction and entertainment and tourism. Mm-hmm. And when the whole COVID thing shut down the entire system over the lie, it just killed the entire casino business too. It killed everything.
I don't see casinos foreclosing. I think those casinos own their land and they own their own buildings.
No, Mike, they do, but it's not going to matter because there's nobody that has any money to go to those casinos.
Oh, okay. Unless they get more Chinese to come in.
That's not going to happen. How's that going to happen?
Oh, well, Canada's bringing in more Chinese. We still have open flights to China.
Exactly. I love China, but Trump got shut down, man.
I'm going to open that right now.
Yeah, Vegas is done, man. That place is going to become what it once was back in the 1800s, a desert and a horse town. That's it.
Yeah, 2 lane, two little 2 tracks of tire tracks through the sand.
Exactly, some hoof prints and mule marks, you know.
I love China.
But the other employment numbers are going to come out tomorrow. I expect another 5 million unemployed on top of the numbers we've already received in the last 5 weeks. So you're looking at what, 30 million people, Americans, filed for unemployment.
Mexico.
That's a huge number. What is that? That's over 1/3 of the country, right? Yeah, it's not good, man. I mean, and they're trying to cover it all up because the fiat is done. Its course is ran. It's useless. It's zero. There's zero value in any cash because the confidence is gone.
So people are losing confidence in the American dollar, but it's still rallying against other dollars. What are they going to do about the petrodollar now that the petro is in negative territory?
Yeah, it's done. It's finished. You're going to see Saudi Arabia and Russia go probably to a hot war over the oil, or with Trump coming out now saying he's going to shoot, Iranian gunboats over this. It's all war for profit, man.
Profiteering, my friend.
War is a racket. Smedley Butler wrote a book about that. He was a 2-time Congressional Medal of Honor recipient in the U.S. Marine Corps. He knows what's going on. It's all about the money, man. And when people lose the confidence, the whole thing implodes.
We got Craig Cook saying, yeah, we got a good economic wave of misery coming from New Zealand. We got Solid Extra saying, Papa pissed. So you're saying Kevin Thompson and Axl Rose are hackers. We got Pseudo Scientist saying, I was in another Canadian live stream and it was getting spam with Mike Martin's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was on Walking COVID's channel today, and he was talking about you, and he said he was asking about my mug and why I'm not taking a percentage because I'm a YouTube star. I'm a YouTube star now too. I said, well, I'm gonna have Mike make a Walking COVID mug. I think that'd be a good seller.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone's kind of calling me out for, the one guy that's spamming me on other channels is saying I'm on welfare and all this stuff. And then you got Walking COVID saying that I'm a gloom and doomer and this and that.
That guy's been a gloom and doomer since like day one. He's always in a bad mood.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done nothing to these people, and they just keep biting and keep. And you know what I do?
Yeah,
I do the neutron dance.
I hear you. Hey, but Mike, I think you should really take away some of these blue wrenches. I think you should only have very few people. You have too many moderators out there.
But the thing is, you know how many moderators I have on my channel?
I don't know, but
17.
That's it?
That's it?
Well, you should probably cut it down to top 10 tops.
Well, because you know what it is that I have different time zones that tune in for me.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't know who this Axl Rose character is.
He's not a moderator.
I know, but him just jumping in there is just pissing everybody off. He's irritating.
Oh, Axl Rose? Isn't he the leader of the Guns N' Roses band?
He was, yeah.
And then they had an album called Appetite for Destruction?
That's it, buddy.
Right.
Welcome to the jungle. Yeah.
Right. I don't know, man. If you got, I don't know what's going on. I got some. When I get guests, when I get I'm with you. We're talking, right? Me and you, we're talking SA, right?
Right.
But then there's people on the side talking. I can't monitor all that stuff and Walking COVID and all that stuff.
I know that. But I don't know, man. It just seems like some people in there are trying to stick up for some of these trolls that have blue wrenches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing for the show.
Yeah, I got 17 blue wrenches.
Yeah, I would go through your list and make sure that absolutely you trust whoever you're giving a blue wrench to.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if Shima, I couldn't even finish her call because they were cutting up the transmission so bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was my connection here was absolutely terrible.
Right. That Square T guy, good call. Good caller. It was good to hear from him.
Oh, that guy's amazing. That guy's...
Yeah, he knows a lot of the same history that I've been preaching about, for years. I was just going over our one trends in the housing that we just did, what was it, 3 months ago, the one with the volcano on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and listen to that call, you'll see a lot of this stuff coming to fruition that I was talking about on that show that night.
Well, maybe I'll clip it out and I'll do a 3 months ago video and look at it today, right?
Yeah, that's a good way because, it's all about time, dude, timing. And I think a lot of these people that make predictions, their timings are off. I follow the market every day. The real estate market, the stock market, the bond market, the precious metals market. And you have to follow the algorithms and the trading algorithms and find out, what is going on. And that's what really tells you where it's going to. And when you're getting lied to through the press, because it's all pure propaganda, man. They're trying to throw everybody off. It doesn't matter. I mean, the information is bogus on all these websites, all these news outlets. You just can't trust any of the data that comes through them, man. It's just all pure propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Especially like T Square said earlier on the show, Bill Gates wrote a book on how to shape a graph to fit your agenda.
He did. He has a bunch of other crazy books too that he was reading. The guy's a eugenicist, man.
Who? T Square or Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. And I remember I was talking about Bill Gates before anybody else was. I was saying, watch Bill Gates. Watch what that guy does. He's involved with this whole COVID thing because him and Warren Buffett, they all stand to make millions and billions of dollars on more funny money, you know, through the scam. It's all part of the setup, man.
I
Just like
love
Raven
China.
says, it's all been planned out, usually decades in advance, you know, and they shape everybody's opinion through the media. That's how they get you brainwashed, man. You know, I'm trying to get people the truth. I want people to get to the root of the truth. Forget all the side noise because that's all it is. It's programming and side noise, man. You know, stop listening to these so-called assholes, experts that think they're economists. They're not, and they're not even scientists either.
We got
You know when?
Craig Cook
How
wants
long-
to ask you a question.
What's
Can you
up?
ask about the demographics time bomb, please?
The demographics time bomb of what?
I don't know.
Which sector are we talking about?
Probably housing, because it is a housing show.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen Australia crumbling since how long ago?
Oh, God. They got so bad that they're doing interest-only mortgages, and they're getting first-time homebuyers loan from the government on top of that.
Yeah, because they're trying to keep the bubble propped up, but the bubble's already popped. The debt's coming due. I mean, if you look at Deutsche Bank, they're covering up 40-something plus trillion so-called dollars in toxic junk derivatives. You know, and now we have the central banks buying it up, like the Federal Reserve. They're buying up junk bonds. You know, the bond market's collapsed. I don't even see it. It's not functioning. That's why
Does Deutsche Bank still exist?
they're trying. I guess, yeah, it does artificially, but it goes back to them.
Yeah, that building still exists. It's artificial, though.
Yeah, no, well, no, the bank itself is artificial, but no, the building, the structure still exists. You know, but what does that take? You can always make up a new bank name to cover up their scam. There's so many zombie corporations out there that have been operating far too long. I mean, all this stuff is just the lies are going to implode on themselves, man. And just like a Ponzi scheme, it's just all imploding, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're going to have to reset back to a sound money system.
Okay, let's take 3 steps back. What's going to happen with all the pension money that was thrown through the casino that we call the stock market? What happens to all the pension money with the misallocation of funds now? People's pensions.
It's gonna get rehypothecated. I think it's going to if we have to go back to a gold backed or some kind of currency that's commodity backed, those people are going to lose the majority of their pensions. You know, they're going to get cut drastically, just like housing prices. So, like, let's say you paid into a retirement account or a pension and you're a government employee for, like, you know, your whole career. Your pension is going to probably get cut by like 80% because it's all backed by, you know, these big banks. And all these big banks and the pensions are actually invested heavily in the oil market. So when you have an oil collapse, like we just saw, what is that going to do to your pension? You know, because
well, it's going to put it through the grinder and back out through the through a sewage tank. But then what happens to cities like, for example, Chicago, where they have 5 layers of government pension to pay out?
They're screwed. They've been screwed. Illinois is one of the worst heavily regulated tax states, and they can't do it through taxation anymore. It's not going to work.
I'm going to buy you an Illinois or Chicago hoodie.
It's called give me a fighting what is it, the Illini they call it?
Fighting Illini.
Yeah, Illini.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Chicago. You know what? It's just another symptom of the entire system. The entire system is crap, man. It's just it's going to come down, and there's no stopping it. It's just mathematical. It doesn't matter what lies they pump out over the news. You know, you got the 4 asshats of the apocalypse on CNBS always spouting their crap. You know, it's just, and that's just designed to keep the propaganda going, to keep these idiots walking around thinking there's a great economy going on when it's falling apart.
I want to thank Dave Sabrini for sending me $13.99 Canadian. My #1 fan, he says. Thanks, Dave.
Woo.
Dave, you're the best, man. Raven, am I supposed to give you a percentage of that super chat because you're technically talking to me right now?
Well, according to Walking COVID, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I told him on this chat? I said, you know what? I don't care, man. I'm doing it because I like to be part of Mike's show, and I like the
But
truth
it's
to be
our show. You know I make 25 cents an hour doing this.
right. You know, it's not like we're getting paid like the Friends salary. Friends $1 million a show. You know.
Oh, that'd be different. Everybody would. Well, man, oh, it'd be so different if that was the case here. That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Hey, give the Raven a call. Let's hear what he's got to say.
I could ask him if he wants to call in. I want to get Steve the plumber too, because Steve's got some important information about layoffs that's happening.
Yeah, get Steve-O on.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get everybody, but everyone jumped ship after the freeze attack there. You know that happens on my transmissions a lot. It's weird. It reaches a certain number, then it cuts off.
Some entity out there screwing with the numbers and your transmission. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, I have 500,000 views in a quarter of a year, and I got -6 subscribers.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on the phone. I know, it's funny.
-6 subscribers I've gotten since January 1st till yesterday. -6 subscribers and almost 480,000 views.
These controllers that are censoring your show and other shows and everything, they're just shooting themselves in the foot. They're sealing their own destruction right now.
Yeah. I'm not saying my show is good or anything, but at least give us a fair chance across the board, you know?
Oh, I mean, we don't know anything. We're just trying to talk freely about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
We don't know nothing. But hey, we don't give financial advice, and let's just leave it at that. It's just it's a good family program.
Mm-hmm. Good family programming here. Good nutritional stuff.
That's right. Hey, you should talk about those boxable houses. I think that's a good thing, man.
You know what? Yeah, we'll throw that up.
49 grand. You can have a 20 by 20 fully furnished transportable box house.
Hold on, let me look it up. Foldable homes. What state is this out of?
Out of Nevada, out of Las Vegas. They're launching some 2-bedroom units now too. The 1-bedroom unit costs 49 grand.
Holy crap! Folds within 10 minutes?
Yeah, they put it together in less than a day. And it's made with mold-resistant, fire-resistant materials and stuff, so you don't have to really work. They're pretty nice though for a 20 by 20 shit box. If you're gonna pay for $1 million one in Canada, you might as well buy one of those for $49K.
Okay, here. I don't want to get flagged, so I'm gonna kind of fast forward through this. So yeah. I want to see this guy fold out this house. This looks awesome. And it's got a fridge in it too?
Everything. It comes fully loaded with all the appliances and everything. You just got to have the water hookup, but you can do a lot of solar. You can add solar to it or tie into the grid power.
Man, this is the way of the future, especially with affordability levels. Look at that! Holy crap! So what do? Can you wheel this thing around?
Yeah, and you don't have to permanently put it on the structure either. If you could always transport that house anywhere you go.
So you could go to Alaska in the summer and you could spend your winter in Miami.
Yeah, as long as you pay for a shipper to ship it wherever you want to go. They have to put it on a see that trailer.
I see it right here. I see the trailer.
Yeah, that's called a low boy trailer. But you can take it anywhere you want, man. That's why I want to get a couple of those for my Mike Martin's cult property down south.
Mike Martin's cult property. I mean, you're on the ball with this channel. You know what's going on.
Yeah, we could start the Mike Martin's cult ranch like Charlie Manson.
Woo! Okay.
It's in a ghost town, so we could scare everybody and charge admission.
Wow, this thing looks like a complete transformer when it's like up and open.
Yeah, dude, it looks super. Ben, the HUD secretary. Ben Carson, Trump's HUD secretary. He did a tour of that, and they were looking at that as an affordable way for the California crisis. Because,
they could even use them for schools.
Yeah, you can use them for whatever, Mike. But the point being is that they're affordable. You know, anything under $50K gives you a place to take a shower, cook some food, and you have a bedroom and a little tiny living room. What more do you need? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So technically, if you have a piece of land in Alaska, okay, and then you have a piece of land, let's say somewhere in central or southern BC where the weather's, not that bad in the winter. You move it, you ship it down that one highway, You get it shipped
Yep.
down. You pay $6,000-7,000 to ship it. Get it there. Spend your spring and summer there. Then your winter there. Then move it back. Oh my God, that's you get 2 pieces of land you could buy next to nothing in some places, right?
Yeah, well, I'm talking to the CEO of that place right now. I'm trying to get him to donate one to the channel, and I told him I would promo it for him.
Sure.
You know, we'll see what happens though. But yeah, I believe that's going to be the new wave of the housing future for a lot of these people.
Oh, look at this! It even has a wheelchair ramp, and it has the grocery store.
Yeah, people are going to refuse to pay those outrageous prices that have been inflated. It's just not going to happen. And plus, when you throw all the property taxes, the more the house costs, the higher the taxes are.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're invested heavily in real estate, just on taxes, property taxes. That's all going to come crumbling. It's not going to last. You can't. It's unsustainable.
Holy crap! You could have a party in this thing.
You could, man. They're pretty nice. And you know what's cool about those? You can actually stack them, too.
You can. I'm watching them stacking here.
Yeah, so you could make one with a top layer and a top terrace. You could make it, you could have a walk-off carport or garage.
No, you know what? I'd keep the one level, but have access to the top, so you could put a patio up top.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, doing something like that, too. But think about it. You could buy 4 of those. Even on my property, I could put 4 of those on my property, live in one and rent the other 3 out with close, resort ski, all the top-notch ski places right here in Colorado. I'm only an hour away from one of them.
So we got Anthony saying this could cut you in half in a tornado. Is that true?
Not true.
It is pretty heavy, though. It looks pretty stable. It looks pretty solid. Solid.
There's other companies out there that specifically make round houses. They're more money, but they're prefab too, and they go up pretty quickly. But they're shaped roundly, and that's what. And they have like a round shape to them, like a yurt style. Those are actually better in hurricanes because they cut through the wind like a windmill.
Right, because they're designed that way. Dynamically designed that way.
Yeah, you'll see all the other houses get wiped out, but those will survive because of the way they're designed aerodynamically.
Well, they're setting up an office space. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I mean, the insides look pretty nice, man. What else do you want? You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to pay a mortgage. Think about that.
Yeah, no, that's you're on par with that one. Keyword: don't have to pay a mortgage. Equal not paying property tax. Equal. There's a lot of equals here.
Exactly. When you can, that's why you see the van life took off so much, because all you're really paying is your car insurance, your gas, and your registration every year, which is a lot cheaper than paying a $2,000 or even a $3,000 or $4,000 mortgage every month. Think about the cost savings, So yeah, there are ways to do it. We gotta keep fighting the system, because the system's what's enslaving everybody. It's too much. It's done. It's over. Game's over. Yeah. All right, man.
Well, thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for bringing this up on the show. This is a really good addition here.
Thank you, my brother. Anytime.
All right, you take care. God bless you.
God bless. Bye-bye.
That is my man, Lord Humongous. Yeah, Raven's got a really good point here in the comments. Just buy a shipping container. Tons of them will be coming up for sale. You could put 2, 4, 6, 8 of those shipping containers. Get a plan made. You get a good arc welder to come in, start rigging it together properly and looking at loads and stuff. Man, you could have a really good place with 4 containers, big open concept, huge high ceilings. You could have like all kinds with those things, man. Yeah, good call, Lord, says Craig Cook. 100%. Oh, yeah. I don't even know what the hell time it is, because I had to close my clock because I was worried about the bandwidth. That's a really nice structure. Jay Smith says it's good for Africa. Yeah, because if they hit monsoon season or the river starts to get widen or something, they could pick that up, move it somewhere, and move it somewhere for people to relocate if they have to, during famine, during locust time, during monsoon time, during all kinds of weird times in Africa. They could easily relocate this within hours if they have the the manpower to do it, right? It looks like it just hooks up right underneath and you're like, bye-bye. Steven is saying van life equals BS. We need Steven on the show. He's been commenting. He's a moderator. He's been talking on the show for a long time, and I'd like to have him on the show to find out what is going on his neck of the woods. Same thing with Mike Banks. I want to get Mike Banks on Mike in the Night because Mike Banks has a lot of information that he's sharing in the chat room. I wish he could come on the show and be part of it. Even Metal Gear Mark III, you know, Boom Bubble Bust Repeat, we need to have him on the channel too. So we got MT says, I like the concept in Japan of the manga cafe. You could stay there in a cubicle, read comics, shower, eat ramen noodles. Yeah, I heard about those cafes in Tokyo and stuff. Like, it's a cafe, you just sit in that little cubicle, and you could rent that computer out, and you could just sit there, and you could sleep there, you could shower there, you could do all kinds of stuff. So we got Kevin Thompson asking, neighbors will complain about shipping container on your property. And he's right about that. He's right about that. There was one of the neighbors here. He parked an RV on his grass on his front yard because he couldn't park it on the street. It was one of those fifth wheel, right? Man, the neighbor next door was gonna have a heart attack. Oh, you can't park that there. You can't. The house looks like crap. My house is gonna go down in value because you're parking this fifth wheel on the grass.
China. I love China.
So, woo! All right. Let's see if we can get Steve. Let's see if we can get Steve to pick up. He's got his Skype off. And guys, don't forget, man. Don't forget to set your reminders. Let me see if I even have my own YouTube channel. I don't even have my YouTube channel open here because of this stupid freeze up that we got. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how to. So Steven is saying, I live in God's country. Mike, poor signal. Scotty Morrison says an RV park will be all right. Guys, just so you know, Scott Morrison is the Prime Minister of Australia, and he's been on the show, you know, trying to sort things out with the housing crisis they're having in Australia. All right, so guys, please, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to send you this link. Go to the bottom here and set reminder right here. You need to set your reminder. I need you to set your reminder for Mike in the Night, the riddle. This is the riddle. It's Mike in the Night. And it's a very important show for this Saturday we're going to be having. And we're going to start wrapping things up and start giving more answers to what we know so far with what's happening, and there's so many events happening. 2020 is working out to be the worst year in history. I think it's worse than 1918. I know 1918 was pretty tough with the war. The French lost 70,000 of their youth in a matter of months. I know the pandemic, the Spanish influenza, the divide of Ireland in 1918. There was the Protestants. There was that big war in Ireland with separatists and stuff. 1918 was one of the worst years on semi-modern day history. But now, 2020, I want 2020 to go and just freaking leave, man. All right, so this is Mike in the Night for this Saturday. Did I leave a link? Yeah, there's a link in there in the chat. I got 2 strong arms. Blessings of Babylon. Time to carry on and try for sins and false alarm. So to America the brave. Wise men say, near a tree by a river, there's a hole in the ground, where an old man of Erin goes around and around, and his mind is a beacon in the veil of the night. For a strange kind of fashion, there's a wrong and a right. But he'll never, ever fight for you. Mike in the Night this Saturday. Oh, yeah, we're going to be unraveling Yeah, Scott Morrison is saying only supermarkets are surviving in Australia. Cyberblock is saying that COVID hasn't changed anything in my life. Then maybe you should call in Cyberblock this Saturday on Skype and give us a little bit of a rundown on what's happening in your neck of the woods and how it psychologically affected you and how you're getting by. And who else we got here? You could use the sea containers for rooms, bedrooms, front rooms, etc. You can make a kitchen, bathroom out of cinder blocks like schools. Tradesmen will have no issues. Whoa, some guy in Toronto started digging a secret underground home in a city park. He got as far as building a maze of tunnels and even brought down a barbecue unit until some nosy folks ratted him out. Why would they rat the guy out? Toronto started digging a secret underground tunnel. I'm gonna look that up. This is amazing. Public housing development, darkness into a secret cave. Is this the one? Toronto tunnel? Police said men built mysterious chamber. Ooh, this looks good. Mysterious Toronto bunker built as man's cave. Two men built a mysterious bunker found near York University in Toronto to use space as a man cave. Police announced Monday. In a brief news release issued on Monday morning, police said that they received several tips about a case that allowed them to identify two men. They made it clear it was built for personal reasons, and we verified that. The police communications director, Mark CTV, told News. So they built a man cave. Oh, look at that. That would be so awesome to be in there, like, just to, like, have a cool time. And 8 underground cities. Toronto Mystery Tunnel. Builder revealed. Working on it, says the city of Edmonton bans garage sales. Of course they're going to ban garage sales. You can find good stuff there. Someone says old news, Mike, 2018. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's pretty cool. Who cares if it was years ago? Come on, guys. It's a couple of years old. So what? That's amazing. I didn't hear about that, so it's news to me. Woo! Anyways, guys, it's winding down. It is winding down. Oh my God, 2.5 hours.
I love China.
Yeah, Low Roller Scratch is saying, Mike, you heard the North Korean leader's in the hospital? Yes, I did. I heard he's in the hospital. I'm not sure what's going on. I know he has obesity problems. I know he smokes like 3 packs of Camels a day. And I know that he's very out of shape from what I heard. He sleeps a lot. He sleeps like 20 hours a day. JJ Jetplay said, yes, Pasuito, living in a very small place for a long period of time gets really old. Yeah, it gets old fast. You know what I'm saying? It gets old really fast, guys. So, guys, there's a lot of Mike in the Nights. You know what? This is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start restreaming Mike in the Nights because I have like 100 and something episodes of 3-hour shows here. I'm just going to let it play right through. On off nights. Like tomorrow night I'm not live, right? And Friday I'm not live. I'm just going to be streaming right through for you guys. Just streaming old episodes of stuff. I'm going to put on the channel, it's going to say restream in big red letters. So when you're commenting, you don't have to panic. So T-Square is saying in some states you need a license now to have a yard sale. Yeah, you have to get licenses. Oh my God, the Walking Journey's here. 2-time world champ in the house. All right, guys, it's winding down. I'm at 2.5 hours. I really need to hit the bathroom. And what else do I got going on? Guys, trends in the housing market was a semi-hit. I got good guests, though. Thank you so much for all the guests. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to watch my video from today, why oil stocks are bulletproof. There's a reason why, guys. There's a big reason why oil stocks are bulletproof. Check out that video. I hope it crashes tomorrow so hard that they're starts really torquing the screws right down. You know what I'm saying? So T-Square talks, it's permanent. You just need permission from the city. It's a permit. You just need permission from the city. Yeah, but still. We got A. Mathieu. Hello from Kelowna. Nice to meet you, Mike. Dump in the night coming. No dump in the night tonight. I just need to, yeah. And we got COVID screening type jobs. Yeah, you can find jobs in that COVID sector. Kind of like JP Morgan. It's delusional. The bank doesn't exist. It's just there for fun. And Deutsche Bank, it's a delusional bank. They're so far in debt. They're so transparent. So Craig Cook in New Zealand says, you need a permit to put a gazebo on a beach here. What? All right, everyone's going to bed. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go check on the wife and kids. And Walking Journey saying Low Roll Scratcher is banned for harassment. I wouldn't, but Low Roll Scratcher's been so nice to me. Roller Scratcher's been so nice for me. You know what I'm saying? He's been such a nice, he always sends me links to Journey, to different channels, sends me links to different USA Today stuff, all stuff happening in the news. You know, a lot of people contribute. A lot of people contribute to this channel with sending links and show tips and stuff. Guys, I was going to give you my Instagram. I'm going to sleep. Forget it. Anyways, we will talk this Saturday. Mike in the Night. It's going to be real good. We got lots to cover. Mike in the Night, The Riddle. Don't forget to join us for that. Anyways, guys, good night. I'm just rambling on here for no reason. Remember, guys, stay safe. And if you can't, be careful. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. God bless. And we'll see each other Saturday night for Mike in the Night.